lined up for a mile here. The Star Sports Heron Stakes listed, and they're off. Opera Ballo on the wide outside. Now, where does William Buick go on this hard-pulling colt? He's to the fore. Nebraska in the green jacket. Sahale Star prominent for Qatar in the stars. On the inside, Matauri Bay in a pink cap, followed by Bay City Roller, then Pellitory and Jackknife getting cover in behind as they head down the back straight. And Sahale Star and Opera Ballo is fighting William Buick here, and he'll be desperate for maybe a little bit of cover as they head towards the end of the back straight. Matauri Bay on the inside, Nebraska and Holly Doyle in that green jacket between runners. Opera Ballo now is able to slot in behind the front three. In fourth place, Bay City Roller from Jackknife, and lastly Pellitory. So swinging the right-hander, Matauri Bay leads the way. Sahale Star on the outside, Nebraska in a good position in third. Opera Ballo the favourite in fourth place. Jackknife, Bay City Roller, and finally Pellitory into the home straight. And Sahale Star kept wide here. Far side next to the rail is Matauri Bay, Nebraska. And now here's Opera Ballo. Well, he's very keen early on. What will he have left? Behind the leaders, Jackknife moving up quite promisingly on the inside. Will need an out. Bay City Roller improving as well. And down the outside is Pellitory now. Pellitory coming into it as they race on inside the final furlong and a half. Pellitory out wide. Opera Ballo, Bay City Roller between them. Then Matauri Bay. Opera Ballo is finding a bit now as they race inside the final furlong. Pellitory sticking to the task, but Opera Ballo looks too good and clears away by a couple of lengths. Bay City Roller for late gains, but Opera Ballo too good for them and wins the Heron. Bay City Roller in second, Jackknife in third, followed home by Pellitory in fourth.
Unfinished symphony, this horse, Opera Ballo. He is a work in progress. There's an awful lot to do with him to make him into a real top-notcher, but he's got bags of ability. 5-4 favourite, William Buick got him in the end, and still having pulled really hard and really not had the perfect trip, he's gone away to win this pretty decisively. It's a good run in second from Bay City Roller, who moved up stylishly, looked to be done for a little bit of race fitness, and then ran on in the manner of a horse who might yet want a bit further. Jackknife's a really promising horse. He's run through for third. The form's good. Pellitory laid it down to the winner for a little while and has run well again, but Opera Ballo is too classy for these.
Yeah, Opera Ballo, I mean, William Buick, take a bow. He is not a straightforward horse. Keen, awkward head carriage, just doesn't want to relax, and that wide draw didn't help William either. It took him a while to be able to get him into a rhythm and then into a bit of cover. He's still pulling his way into the final couple of furlongs. There's a huge engine in there as well, as you say, Nick, but he is going to have to start to become a little bit more straightforward as he goes through the grades.
It's quite an impressive part of the race from the runner-up Bay City Roller. He goes through the gears under Callum Shepherd, and he looks a real threat here. It seems to have blown up. Yeah,
he's moved menacingly up to the leaders, hasn't he? And he's done it smoothly. As you say, just here you think, has he blown up a little bit, just getting a little bit tired before running on strongly again in the final furlong. George Scott's mentioned it, you said as well. I'd love to see him up and trip now. He looks a horse that will stay the 10 furlongs nicely. And flying home late on, Jackknife, who just lacked that bit of experience compared to the rest of the field, but he's a really nice horse going forward.
I suspect just watching him move, Bay City Roller wouldn't want the ground too quick either, though tonight was probably fine. Pellitory's run an amazing race, but then hung his chance he had of getting placed away.
Yeah, Pellitory's bounced back, hasn't he? Total flop last time at Newmarket for whatever reason, but he has bounced back today. That was much better. As you say, he was wandering around under pressure. But Bay City Roller, aside from the winning, Bay City Roller is the one your eye's drawn to because he does run on so well again late.
Jackknife's got to be a good horse next year, hasn't he? If it doesn't all pan out for him this year, he's got to be a good horse next year. Rasheen Murphy had to wait for a run, and then he's not been hard on him at all, and I think the horse will repay their kindness.
Definitely, and he's in the right yard, isn't he? Roger Veron's going to give him the time to develop, much like his brother Defoe, who took time, and the older he got, the more talented he became. I think he's going to fall into the similar bracket. But the winner, Opera Ballo, today, despite being very tricky, he's got a big engine, he's talented, and the market was correct.
Stakes winner for Ghaiyyath here, winner for William Buick and Charlie Appleby. Opera Ballo wins the Star Sports Heron Stakes here. It's a double for the winning rider.
Yeah, and there's so much to decipher from that. Opera Ballo clearly is a very good horse, but prone to throw away his chance, or at least diminish his chance with his behaviour in the early part of the race. If they can channel that in the right direction, then who knows what he could do. Bay City Roller is going to be exciting going forward, and I echo what Nick and Megan said about the third horse, Jackknife. He looks like 2026 is going to be his year. Whatever happens in 2025, he looks a very unfurnished horse from this distance away. Yes, admittedly, but given his pedigree, etc., no doubt with a bit of time he will improve and improve.
Short space of time. He was undone by keenness when he ran in the Craven Stakes, and he nearly was threatening to be undone by keenness today. But quick word with his winning rider. He's completed a stakes race double. William, many congratulations. I described him as the unfinished symphony, but it could be pretty good when he gets it all together.
Exactly that. It was made a bit hard today. We were just kept out a little bit down the back, and he breaks so quick. And we were adamant today that we wanted to teach him something and come back and learn a little bit about him ourselves. So in the end, it worked out. But once I got him in behind, I ran a turn, and then he just raced a little bit unreasonable.
So what did you learn?
He's a good horse, you know, and he's, like you say, he's a work in progress still. The engine's there. We just need to fine-tune him a little bit. He'll keep progressing. He'll keep getting better, and you know, he's taken that step in his stride. Really, I thought, you know, obviously. Even after allowing how he raced in the Craven, he still didn't run a bad race. So, you know, the ability is there, and he's just going to keep getting better.
Would you be inclined to keep him at a mile for the time being?
For the time being, I would. I do think he will stay a mile and a quarter, but just with, you know, he's quite exuberant, and he's not a slow horse. He's got a turn of foot, as you saw there today. So, a mile is probably where his immediate future lies.
I can't let you go without a quick word for dear old Trawlerman. Yeah. What a smashing horse he's turned out to be, and again, showing the benefit of patience.
Yeah, absolutely. He's come back from Dubai in great shape, and you know, John and Thady said he was spot on today, and he was. He's just a real happy, well horse, and you know, he loves bowling along like he did here today, and fingers crossed it will set him up for another crack at the Gold Cup.
Do you think he's got a shot? Second last year, has he got a shot? Is he as good?
Well, he put it to Kyprios last year, and you know, Kyprios has been retired, and you know, we all know Kyprios. He's the champion stayer. So you know, Trawlerman, I think he's the only horse who's actually beaten Kyprios the last couple of years, and Frankie rode him in the champion stayers. So we know how good he is, and he was there right to the line in the Gold Cup last year. So fingers crossed we can go one better.
Lovely evening, lots to look forward to. Well done.
Thank you, Nick.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.